this is the cue that should lose, and this is the cue that should win. But if the cheap cue can keep up with the real break cue, things are gonna be a lot more complicated. Because if it does, that means a lot of pool players are spending real money on a difference that might be smaller than we think. We got 4 cues, 48 breaks, all with the same exact conditions. I'll be rotating every round, so that way no cue gets the real warm-up advantage. First up, we got the house cue. The cue that has no excuse to be good. All right, here we go. First break, house cue. Squadoosh. First one, house cue, break number 1, 6 out of 7. So that would be 4 out of 7. Looks like 4 out of 7 again on that one. All right, we made one, 6 out of 7. So the official scoring categories for this challenge, I had to make sure they're not weight-based or very much skill-based either. So for me personally, I chose 5 different categories that were scoring based off of a point system. Of course, the first one is gonna be, did I make a ball? That's gonna be 1 point. If I didn't scratch, that's another point. The cue ball control is gonna be from a range from 0 to 2 points as well. That's the 3rd or 4th time I've scratched in that pocket, isn't it? If it's a 0, that means it's a scratch. It went wild, but it could score a 1 if it's a kind of control. Like, it might not be dead center of the table, but it didn't get bounced around. It didn't hit, 4 rails on its way around the table. It was still okay. Number 2, though, is if it is gonna stay in a contained center. Even if it gets knocked out, if I can see that the cue ball visually stops or is slowing down in the center of the table, that's our goal. Even if it gets knocked out by another ball that's kind of blazing through, we're still gonna go ahead and score that 2 points because we weren't able to control the cue ball with our cue before an outside force came into play. For the rack spread, that's gonna be another one that ranges 0 to 2. 0 is there's like way too many clusters. It's all kind of packed into the center there. To get 1 point, it's kind of decent. There might be still some clusters, but overall it's okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible. To get 2 points, to get a wide open spread, right? It has to be almost perfect. I don't know if we'll see a whole lot of these going on, especially in today's video when I'm changing this cue every single time. And then the last of the categories, a playable first shot. For this, I'm looking for either a shot on a solid and a shot on a stripe from where the cue ball is based on the way it's spread out on the table as well. So the total you can get on all 5 categories combined is gonna be 7 points. We are gonna do 12 breaks with each cue, so that does come out to be a possibility of 84 points per cue. And then at the end, we are gonna be able to figure out, just based off the point system, which cue did better than the others and which cue did absolutely terrible. Hopefully they're not close, but if they are close, it goes right back to what I said earlier about it being complicated, and is it actually even worth it? I made a couple there. Almost. Oh. A lot of top spin on that ball. I didn't do enough warm-up. Oh, we made 2 there. Oh, look at that. Shout out to Raven for sending me this carbon fiber brake cue that we're testing out today. They didn't tell me what to say, but the test only works if the results are honest. If you want to check them out, I do have an affiliate link in the description. You can use code Trent on the break for 10% off, but let's go ahead and jump back into it and let's see if the brake cue actually earns the win. Oh, that 5 ball almost fell. 2 ball. Nope. Oh, almost. Almost. Didn't make one. Great spread, only 1 cluster. All right, it's been a couple days and we have the final standings. There were a total of 5 scratches out of all 48 breaks. The fewest scratches ended up coming a tie, right? I actually scratched the most with the house cue itself. The other 3, I did only scratch 1 time. The best rack spread, whether it was a scratch or I had a playable shot, just overall, best rack spread for me, I was a clear winner. It was the Raven break cue. There really wasn't anything that even came very close when it came to overall rack spread. But the biggest surprise was that the house cue was second in most breaks where I did make a ball, as well as second place in total balls made. So let's start off with last place. Last place, we are gonna go ahead and give the house cue. Even though I did make more balls with it, making the amount of balls I feel like does come down to luck. What we were really wanting to look at when it came to points was scratches and playable shots, as well as, you know, like I said, overall spread. That puts the house cue in last place. So this is gonna stay a house cue. We're not gonna do anything extra with this. We're just gonna put this right back on the bar counter behind me. Okay, now moving on to number 3, which was a tie with number 2, but I'll tell you why I put it as 3 instead of, you know, a tie. Number 3 was the playing cue number 1, the Black Players 307 cue. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't. As you can tell, this one became a house cue. It still does have this like threaded grip, which is still perfectly intact, but this one got 49 out of 84 possible points. This one doesn't deserve second place, and we are gonna go ahead and put that onto the ability to control the cue ball. Moving on to number 2, and I don't want to give away number 1 by doing this, but I'm gonna kind of have to, right? Number 2 did also get 49 out of 84, but number 1 only got 53 out of 84, and I had to go back to see what happened, and I'm so glad I did. Number 2 was the Lucasi LZC 21 with a carbon fiber shaft. At first, I thought I had a lot more like cue ball control with this one when it came to the break, but then kind of as the test went on, they were kind of all over the place because I definitely noticed that I still have a tendency to kind of jerk left at the very end. The playing cue was the one that made the most balls, but it didn't start standing out until break number 6. Break 6 was also the same time the playing cue and the Raven break cue, which got number 1 at 53 out of 84 points. Both got 1 on the break. After that, this never made another ball, but I'm still putting it at number 1 because yes, it did have the most playable shots after those breaks, which is another way of saying the most overall break spread. It also made 5 in the first 6 breaks. So it was consistent in the sense of the first 6. After that, I don't know what happened. This is the one I use all the time, everywhere I go, tournaments as well. I don't know why I had 6 dry breaks with this one. These 2 are so close. If I had to choose what to use in a match, I'm still gonna use this for every other shot than the break because this is my break cue. I don't wanna ruin this one with all the power that I'm having to put through this one. This kind of showed a little bit of something else as well. And it shows the smoothness and consistency that both carbon fiber shafts had with the playing cue and the break cue. Whether you're looking for carbon fiber or not, you might want to test them both out when you're breaking just to see which one you can get a consistent feel for. So with that all being said, does the break cue matter? Yes, but it doesn't matter in such a way that you are going to lose league night because of it. If you went to a tournament, I would definitely recommend bringing a break cue and getting comfortable with one before you go. But when it does come to actually using the brake cue or the house cue or your playing cue as your brake cues, because that's still a very common thing. In leagues, it's okay. Now, I definitely want to hear what you guys think, because you guys saw all the same footage that I did. I want to know, would you guys put the Lucasi playing cue at number 1 over the actual brake cue? I do have another question for you guys that I want you guys to go into the comments right now and answer for me. Do you guys have a brake cue? And if so, is it a carbon fiber or a wood shaft? I will leave all the final trackers that I had in the comments below. It's just going to be a quick link to a PDF. This has been Trent on the Brake. I can't wait to see you guys in either the next video or the next live stream, which I try to do every single Saturday. This has been Trent on the Brake. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.